very interesting. I would say this is a wonderful conference. I grew up in Taiwan, so when we talk about Ukraine and Russia, many people use this analogy for Taiwan, and China. So it's a very good learning for me. But I have been in America for a long time. So my topic, actually, I'm not far away from here. I'm from Westchester University in Pennsylvania, probably 2 hours away from New York City. So I've been a professor in marketing department in Westchester for a long time. This topic, I'm very, very happy you are still here, and the weather is very, very nice outside. So it's my pleasure to present this topic, and I think many of you probably have experienced the situation as I'm going to talk about it. So the title is about the role of trust in government in the theory of planned behavior for COVID-19 prevention behavior. So we all know COVID-19, and most of you probably are professors. The question here is, okay, how it started? Started when I was in pandemic. So give you some background. This is a chart from US CDC. Started probably 2020, I would say March, but actually March. And this is a weekly number of COVID. And they stopped collecting probably a couple of weeks before in March. So you can see we started for 2020 in March. My school just shut down during the spring break, the last day, and 2-3 weeks. Okay, we have to move everything online. And the coming year, 2020 fall semester and 2021 spring semester, everything was online. But during that time, we are talking about, okay, what's going on? What's going on? Nobody knows. So the government started, prevention behavior. What should we do? Wearing masks, all the kind of requirements. Hopefully, can stop spreading the virus. And then people have to adopt those new behaviors. However, we are still, I'm sorry to say this, professors or staff member, we worry about to go back to in person. So what should we do? Are those students going to wear a mask? Okay. I have a concern about my healthy situation. I have people who are, vulnerable population. They are young kids or they are seniors. What should I do? So the conversation started and the problems arrived. What if people don't want to, follow the COVID, prevention behavior? What should we do? Unfortunately, college students are so young, they are afraid of nothing. Okay, so, but they are probably the most, I would say, mobile group. They spread virus everywhere. I'm sorry, they are very young. They are so strong. So that was a starting point. People hesitate to come back on campus. So I, as a marketing professor and researcher, I started thinking social marketing. This area has been used very popular to address public health and try to promote desirable social behaviors, such as quit smoking. How can we study? Okay, or study why people want to take vaccine or not. Definitely, can we develop more effective communication to our target population or not? So this is where I started my research idea. Be more specific, my research question was, what kind of factors could influence college students to adopt COVID-19 prevention behavior? If I understand why, maybe I can have better communication message with them, will be more effective. Another thing is, it's a global pandemic. Everybody knows that the number change every day, and it changes from one country to the other country. Is there any cross-cultural context related? Is any probably country-specific context related? So those are questions I have. So my goal is to find what are the key factors that have impact on college students, why they don't follow, why they don't follow. So that is my key objective. I use theory of planned behavior, TPBB, and a country factor trust in government as my research foundation. So I'm going through a little bit literature review TPB has been there for a long time. In 1991, by a Professor Agent. It's a very robust model to predict someone's behavior to adopt their intention to adopt a new behavior. So very robust. It has been applied in many areas. The idea is very straightforward. Someone's intention to adopt a new behavior is determined by 3 factors. Number 1 is their attitude toward this behavior. Number 2 is called social subjective norm. What kind of awareness, how do they perceive the social pressure to carry out this behavior or not? Okay. The next one is perceived behavior control. Do they have ability to control to do it? That is very, very important. If I don't have ability, I cannot do it, even I want it. Okay. So those 3 factors are very important to predict if someone wants to adopt a new behavior or not. This TPB has, as I mentioned, has been applied in many areas in healthy public health, in culture. Those research has been done recently, and one is about intention for vaccine. It's even very new. So my research hypothesis based on TPB, very straightforward. A person's attitude, social objective known, or perceived behavioral control has impacts on their intention to follow the COVID prevention behavior. That's very straightforward based on TPB. The second question. Oops, sorry. The second important part is trust. Trust is essential, it's very essential for relationship. For people to listen to you or to really convince them, they need to have basic trust. Why do I need to listen to you if I don't trust? Okay. So trust has been applied in many, many areas. This is a definition. Basically, trust is defined as the willingness of a party to be vulnerable, they are vulnerable. To the action of the other party based on expectation that the other will perform a particular action important to the truster. So that means I'm just regular, people, and I have no idea about COVID. I am vulnerable because I don't know what to do. I have to trust my government. I think my government, I have the expectation my government will do something good for me. Okay, so that is coming trust in government. So several research has been aiding trust in TPB, and this is one of example. This is several example here. I think that is very important, and I like to see how this factor play out in the TPB prediction. So trust has a very important component. Ability. The one you want trust, do they have the ability? In the context of COVID, does the government has ability to handle the challenge? Okay. The second thing, in benevolence, does the government has the good benefit, the best interest for the people? Okay, that's a benevolence. The third one is integrity. Do they have any kind of principle to follow, and their ideals make sound? The sounds have some kind of a support. So those 3 components are definitely important to build up people's trust. So again, based on the trust literature, I kind of suggest that trust in government will have impact on the 3 factors of the TPB. Will influence attitude, will influence subjective norm, will influence PBC. Okay, let me just make it very simple. H1, 2, 3. This is based on TPB theory literature. H4, 5, 6 will come from based on the trust literature. So that is good. Okay, thank you. So I did an online survey, and then that consumers did our online collect 146 undergraduate students. We did it 2021 March for 2 weeks. This is the measures. We use 5 questions for prevention behavior. The other measures are from previous study. We just revised the question in the context of COVID. So those are questions. We use partial least square structure question model. I use smart PLS, check the measurement model, make sure all the validity are sound, and then I have a structural model. So this is measurement model. Simply speaking, we remove one question and then everything looks great. We are lucky. Okay. The second thing is a structural model, which we test our hypothesis. Except one link, others are all good. So one link from subjective norms to prevention behavior, it was not significant. The others, the coefficients, I mean the p-value are or less than 0.05, so they are all significant. So I'm going to summarize this. Except H2, the other hypotheses were supported. Findings. So we find out that in based on TPP model, we find out people's attitude, people perceived behavioral control are very important to determine their intention to follow COVID prevention behavior or not. Attitude and perceived behavior control. Very important thing is this one R2. Their R square is 0.69, which is great. It means those two important.
Please conclude it.
Okay, I'm going to conclude quickly. And the trust definitely have all the impacts on the TPP factors. Communication, we need to focus on trusting value, and also gain people trust. It's so important because at the end of the day, it has impacts on consumers' social desirable behavior.